Hi, welcome to all. Myself, a Kalyan Kumar from the Department of Data Science. Okay, today I'm going to discuss about the structures in C. How structures will work in C. Okay, so before that we have to discuss something about uh, before that structures. So in C there are two types of data types are there. In that first one is primitive data types and second one is the non-primitive data types. So in primitive data types we can declare a variable with integer, float, and character. But there is a problem with the primitive data types. What are the problem is we we can store only one variable at a time. We can store one variable value at a time. So that's the problem. To overcome this, we are going with the user defined data types or non primitive data types. Those are arrays, structures, and unions. Coming to arrays also having a problem that in arrays we have to store a series of single typed values. We have to store a series of single typed values. So to overcome this problem in non-primitive data types, we are going to use structures. So in structures, we can in structures we can. So we are going to discuss all these topics: introduction, defining structures, accessing structures, members, structures as function arguments, and pointers in structures. Okay, so why we are going for the structures means in structures we can define different types of variables at a time. In structures we can define different types of variables at a time as a single variable called structure. So let us take an example. Here we are going with the uh, library information. Okay, in library information, we are finding lots of books in library. We are finding lots of books in library. Each and every books contains some uh, details as given follow. So the title of the book, author of the book, subject ID of subject name of the book, and ID of the book. Okay, so we have to maintain all these things in a single variable. Okay, structures can support this. Okay, so like this is the syntax for the structure. This is the syntax for the structure. Okay, so here we are going to uh, declare structure like this. So in structures, struct keyword is used for the defining a structure, and we can provide a structure tag. It is not mandatory. If needed we can provide, if not needed we can leave as is. And in the inside of the structure, so we have to mention the member definitions. That means we can mention whatever the variables, different types of variables are needed, we can mention that here. After defining all these members of the structure, we can mention structure instances, or we can call it as structure variables. Okay, so we can call it as structure variables. So we can declare after closing of the member definitions. Okay, so let's see the example here. Here I taken I taken four variables: title, author, subject, and book ID. So coming here, title is an array with a type of character which holds 50 values at a time. And coming to the author also, it is also a array with a type of character. It also holds 50 values at a time. And coming to the subject is also a character. It can hold 100 values at a time. Coming to the book ID, it is an integer variable which can hold numbers. Okay, and here we given a structure variable called book, and the structure name is books. Okay, next. So then we are defining the structure, but what will happen means here the problem with the accessing of that structure members. How can we access these structure members? So there is an operator called member access operator. With that we can access the structure members. It is also called as a dot operator. How to access these structures? Here is the example. Okay, here I am going to discuss an example, program example. Okay, so here is the example for the structure. So here I take a structure of books with the keyword of struct books. Structure name is books, and here I have declared for member member variables or members of the structure. So char title of 50 size, char author of 50 size, and char subject of 50 size, and integer variable book ID. So now I'm going to access those structure variables to add some values to in it. So here I created two structure variables, struct books book 1 for the storing information of the book 1, and second one is the struct books book 2 for the storing of information of the book 2. Okay, so first I am going to copy the store the information of the book 1. So here see that strcpa of book 1 dot title. So here we are going to store the value of title in value of the book 1 title in title. So that is C programming. Next one is struct book 1 dot author. We are going to store the author name here. Now Nusha Ali. The third one is we are going to store the subject name also using book 1 dot subject C programming tutorial. Okay, and the last one is ID of the book 6495407, which is stored in book ID. Okay, after that completion of storing of book 1 details, now we are going to store the book 2 details, say likewise the book 1. Okay, title telecom billing, author is Zara Ali, subject is telecom billing tutorial, and the book ID is 6495700. Okay, so how we are going to store the values by using dot operator, same as we can access that values to print in the output screen also. We are going to same use the same dot operator or member access operator. Okay, so here I am going to values of the print the values of the book 1 details and book 2 details. So here I am using printf statement with a string representation for the printing of the string values, and we are going to use the integer representation for the printing of integer value. So percentage is the string representation, and percentage d is the integer representation for the book 1 and book 2. Now we will see by executing this program. Okay, so look at this output. So here we are printing the two book titles. Okay, likewise we can store data, and we can access the data of different variables in any in structures. So for what is the main application of these structures means to maintain the proper database of the uh, any specific object or any specific organization details. We can go with the structures when we are going to use C programming. Okay, okay. So now how we are going to access these structures, or how we are going to use structures in functions. Now we will see we can pass structures as a function, arguments as like general variables as a parameters. So like a general parameter, how can we pass to the function? We can pass these structures as a parameters to a function. Here's the syntax: type function, struct name, struct variable. So we have to give the struct keyword as the name of the structure, and we have to give the variable name of the structure. Okay, so now we will see the example for these structures, function parameter structures as function parameters or function arguments. So same program, here I am creating a function to print the book details. Okay, so why we are going to use functions means sometimes we have to reuse the code in repeatedly in a C programming. So that's why we are going for the functions concept. In structures, we are going to access different structure variables at a time. So to write all these things, we will need so much LOC for the structure coding. So to reduce this LOC, we are going to use the structures. Here LOC is nothing but lines of code. Okay. So let us see this program. So actually, like previous program, how I created a structure. Here also I created structure like that, and I provided two variables here: book one, book two. Okay, structure variables, and I am giving input of values for those two structure variables. After that, here I wrote a function outside the main function. Okay, so what is the function name is void print book with a argument of structure argument with argument of structure argument. So here I given the access like this. After that, here see this in the main function I called with the function name print book for the book 1 and print book for the book 2. So how many variables I am going to create for the structures, we can pass those structure values to these functions. Okay, likewise we can access all these structure variables using functions as a argument, structures as function arguments. Let's work out with the function. So here we got the result same as the previous program. Next one, we can use these structures using pointers also. So for the structures, for the pointers, how you are going to how you are going to create a pointer for a normal variable. Likewise, we can create a pointer to a structure. So here the some example for creating a pointer to the structure: struct books pointer structure pointer. Okay, so pointer operator structure pointer. So likewise you can create a pointer for a structure. After that after that how to store these variable instances into a pointer. So just like a general pointer storing address storing, we can also likewise we can store that structure variable into a structure pointer. Like here struct pointer equals to ampersand book 1. Okay, so here we are going to store starting address of that structure variable. Okay, after that we can how we can access these structure pointer variables, like general accessing of the pointer variables. Likewise we can access these structure pointers. So struct pointer pointing to title. Okay, so let us see an example. So here is the example for that program, which is pointer as a sorry pointers in structures. So before that we have to create a structure with a struct keyword. So I created a structure here with a name of books. Now I'm going to use sorry I'm going to create a pointer here. So in print book, so in print book function, I'm created a pointer with a structure variable. Okay, struct books pointer book. Here it will store data of the address of the book variables. Okay, so after that I am accessing this function variable as using ampersand symbol, ampersand book 1. When we are going to pass a function function argument as a reference. Okay, so ampersand symbol represents the reference of the variable. Okay, so when we are going to pass the reference of the structure variable, automatically it will access all these function structure variables as a pointer type. Okay, then we can print the data using pointers also. So let's see executing this program. So we can access the data using pointers like this. So here we are going to, we have to discuss a small point here regarding structures. What is that now? So how to define the size of the structure? How to define the size of the structure? Okay, how to calculate the size of the structures? So let us take the example given in the structure definition. Okay, let us take the example given in the structure definition. So see here what will happen. I created 4 variables. In that, 3 variables are of character type and 1 variable of integer type. So in that each variable carries some amount of space in memory. Each variable carries some amount of space in memory. So for the title, it going to carry 50 bytes. For the author also it will carry 50 bytes. For the subject it will carry 100 bytes, because we are using arrays here. Of course it is a type of character, but the size of the array defines the size of the variable. Size of the array mentions the size of the variable. So that's why title carries 50 bytes, author carries 50 bytes, and subject carries 100 bytes. Okay, coming to the integer variable, here we are using unsigned int. That's why we are giving the memory will take 4 bytes of size for the book ID. So total we are having here 50 plus 50 plus 100, 204. Okay, so then how can we are going to provide the size, how the memory will allocate size for this structure? Okay, so it will allocate a complete 204 bytes for this structure, because it will allocate space for each and every variable contains in that structure. It will allocate each and every variable, whatever the variable members are there in the structure, it will allocate every, sorry, it will allocate memory for every variable. So that's why here we having 204 size of member variables. So that's why it will allocate the size as also 204. Okay, so then what is the benefit of this? Means we can allocate memory for each and every variable to store each and every value of that variable at a time. Okay, so it's in this way we are going to use structures for storing multiple variables at a time. Okay, so this is about the structures. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone.